Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Dr. Breaking. Today I'm going to be telling you about a simulation I decided to do on social psychology. The topic I decided to pursue for my project is do groups intensify opinions among college students? Throughout this simulation, I decided to ask group members questions individually and in a group to see how their answers would vary. Interviewers were all the same age, however, they were different ethnicity, such as white, African American, and Guatemalan. All four test subjects came from California, so I believe that their answers would be more accurate because they all were from the same area. I individually met with four individuals in my dorm so that I could ask them questions about my simulation. The first question I decided to ask test subjects is, when they hear the word prejudice, what do they begin to think of? I then later stated the true definition of the word prejudice. Next, I asked, was there ever a time or moment when a person was prejudiced towards you? Once they responded, I then asked, were they ever prejudiced towards a person in any type of way because of age or race? Lastly, I asked for a personal observation of the word prejudice and how they felt about it. I then later stated the definition of the word prejudice. According to the textbook, the true definition of the word prejudice is a perceived negative judgment of a group and its individual members, which is according to Myers and Twenge. Test subject number 1 felt very passionate about these simulation questions. This individual's definition of the word prejudice hit right on the spot with the true meaning of the word being prejudice. Their personal meaning of the word prejudice had to deal with citizens being unfair towards each other. This individuals felt that they were prejudiced towards their cousins before, but it was mainly because of the individual's age difference. However, they noticed people being prejudiced towards them all the time in their work environment just because they are a female. This individual's personal observation on the word prejudice is that there are a lot of prejudiced people in the country. However, how you act may be based off the environment you were raised in or what you believe in. Test subject number 2 had a similar definition to test subject number 1. They both believed that the word prejudice had to deal with people being unfair to each other in all ways. Test subject number 2 was also prejudiced towards somebody before, mainly because of the individual's age. However, they began to notice people being prejudiced towards them in a work environment. Test subject number 2 personally felt that there were a lot of prejudiced people in the world, and if you were a prejudiced person, it was most likely because of where you were growing up, where you were raised, or the environment you grew up in. Test subject number 3 answers also began to vary. They personally felt that the word prejudice had to deal with racism. However, this person felt that they were prejudiced towards Native Americans because of many lifetime experiences. This individual also believed that people had been prejudiced towards them in the workplace because of the color of their skin. This individual person did not believe that there was one definition of racism, but somebody being prejudiced. However, they believe that a person may be prejudiced, but may not notice in the words that they say. Test subject number 4 definition was similar to all the other test subjects. They believe that the word prejudice has to deal with people being discriminated based off race or ethnicity. However, this individual felt that they were prejudiced at one point in time in their life to their cousins because of their age difference. Many other people have been prejudiced towards test subject number 4 because of their gender and their ability to compete obstacles, so they were doubted. Test subject number 4 believes that society has the opportunity to change and to not think of anybody as different, but all of us as the same. First, I decided to ask these test subjects these questions individually. Then I decided to bring them all into a group to see how their answers would vary, or if they would agree or disagree on these topics. Towards the beginning of the simulation, test subjects were very hesitant to say if they are prejudiced towards another person. However, when they came together as a group, test subjects began to admit being prejudiced towards other people. They then came to an agreement on the definition of the word prejudice, and by that happening, they started by giving examples of how wrong it was for people to be prejudiced toward others. They then started to support each other around all agreements. I then later came to my own personal hypothesis. Talking in groups enhanced their shared initial inclinations. This theory is shown in the group when I brought them together because they all responded positively and they all began to agree on each other's thoughts and different ideas throughout the group simulation. Now to connect this to course material, According to the textbook, realizing that a group phenomenon was a consistent shift towards increased risk. The phenomenon was a tendency for group discussion to enhance group members' initial thoughts. However, group polarization is a new idea to have people discuss attitude statements to see if talking in a group would enhance an individual's initial thoughts. Also, according to the textbook, studies have shown in Britain, Australia, confirm that group discussion can both negatively and positively influence your thoughts. However, when people share concern about injustice, discussion amplifies their moral concern by Thomas and McGarry. This proves that throughout my simulation, when I brought them together as a group, they began to come together as a group and agree on multiple different things and generate more thoughts for the group process. Now, these are my references. Thank you, Dr. King, for listening to my projects on Do Groups Intensify Opinions Among College Students? I hope you're having a great day. Thank you.